We just wrapped up. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Gather and Grow business call. We're kickstarting this just in time for summer, and we're going to continue it on. But this is our monthly business call, and I am super excited to have you guys on. And we'll be recording them, but it's so nice just to have them in person, like live. So I just wanted to do a shout out to all of you for being here. Thank you. My name's Tracy, and excuse me, we just wrapped up a class 30 minutes ago. And if you're interested in the Canvas slides or the presentation at all, we'd be happy to share it with you. But we're kind of getting into this cadence to prevent what I like to what I sort of affectionately or not so affectionately call the summer slide. I think you teachers, right, Sherry, who knows what I'm talking about, happens with the kiddos, but it can happen in business too, because we have unpredictable schedules during the summer for those of us who still have kiddos at home, or maybe have vacations or whatnot. The summer kind of throws things off with our sort of regular rhythm. And so we wanted to, as a team, do these monthly business calls to kind of get that sense of a rhythm, as well as offer a couple of classes each month, so that you have something to funnel people into, right? So ultimately, when you teach a class, that's going to be the best thing, right? Whether it's online or in person. But if for some reason you couldn't do it, we want to have these online classes available to you so that you invite, we teach, you get the enrollment. At the end of every class that we're teaching, we tell them to go back to the person who invited them to the class. So you can feel confident, right, that we're funneling people right back over to you, but just giving something because you're doing all the work prospecting and reaching out and connecting. So having something to, recommend to people and funnel them into is going to be really, really key. So we just did our Beat the Burnout next week, same time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to be doing a swap this for that. So it's going to be a class all about how to use the premium starter kit to make healthy swaps in the home. It's a fabulous class and cannot wait for it. Many of you who are on here are going to be co-teaching it, so that's going to be really exciting. So I have some things that I wanted to share, but I thought it'd be really fun because I see we've got a new face here, and so I just wanted to do some quick introductions. If you don't mind, tell us your name, where you're tuning in from, and how do you like to share Young Living with other people? So feel free. Maybe I'll pass it over to Sherry.
Sure. I'm Sherry Placco. I live in Mount Prospect, Illinois. So it's a suburb of Chicago. And I'm a teacher. So during the school year, it's hard for me to do a lot, but summer's my jam. And I actually am all about vendor events. So I do a weekly farmers market. I just had my second week last Sunday. So this will be the third one. It always starts the first week of June. And I do that every Sunday until Labor Day. And then I just do a few craft shows, but I'm all about vendor events.
Allison, would you mind sharing?
Sure. I'm Allison. I'm homeschool mom of four boys and have launched three out of the four. I've got one going into high school, and I have one married and one getting married. So this is the summer of weddings for my family. Um, I live in Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia, about 30 miles west in the suburbs. Go Birds. Exciting Super Bowl this year. Um, I play pickleball and I got two little poodles, and I've been with Young Living for about 12 years. And I guess I don't know what else we were supposed to share, but I am going to convention. This will be my second convention this year. So I'm very excited about that. It was like camp for adults last year.
That's what we call convention. We kind of came up with that name, right, Sherry? We called it adult summer camp, and it kind of caught on because other teams were watching us, and now they're calling it. But I'm going to claim it. Like it was us that came up with that.
Yep, got it from you. That's for sure.
I love it. I love it. And Allison, I know you also enjoy doing in person or vendor events and craft fairs, right? So that's kind of your jam as well.
Vendor events, it's more that there's just a homeschool sale. Well, I'll set up a table, but I would love to pick your brain, Sherry, because we do have farmers markets all over the place, but most of them, I'm in a Pennsylvania group for my county, and they are hateful towards network marketers, like seriously hateful, like in these craft vendor events. So I'm not really sure how to get in there without like making all the DIY stuff. And I don't think I want to do that. I feel like I have just learned through the years from Tracy and April Pointer and Lindsay Vermont that, just focus on the PSK because making all these DIYs is not gonna be the way to grow.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm sorry, I'm fortunately in an area where they do allow direct sales at our markets and at the craft fairs. But it's very limited. So it's myself, there's like a Tastefully Simple, a Pampered Chef, but most is farmers and homemade things. But I know some areas are really strict on that. So I apologize.
What state are you
I'm in
in?
Illinois. I'm right
Okay.
outside of Chicago. So yeah, that is a tough one, but we can always brainstorm other ideas too.
I like that.
Yeah, as you guys were both talking, I was like, maybe it's just like different neighborhoods, different towns, other suburbs. I know my sister's in Hawaii and has expressed the same thing where it's very much like they focus on makers. Like they want you to actually make the thing to be able to be featured. And so I'm like, there's a workaround. We can figure this out. But you know what? I feel like we could feature Sherry on a future call, getting into the nitty gritty of vendor events and what's working now. So I think we might need to nominate Sherry for that. Maureen's new, and I would love to have you, Maureen, come and share. I actually invited Maureen. She was going to come on the call, but I was like, Maureen, please share with us what's working for you because Maureen just had a couple of enrollments.
Hi, yeah. So I'm Maureen Law. I live in Rochester, New York, and I signed up under Andrea Frazier. Um, I I was a nurse by trade, but now my business is I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I studied aroma Reiki under Andrea. So that's I have been using essential oils for a while, just with the D brand. Um, um, because that's what my daughter does, and it's been very beneficial for different things. But I decided to go with the Young Living because that's what Andrea uses, and the Young Living has more options, and especially for the Roma Reiki, there's a lot more options for me. So, um, and then when I signed up, because I was just doing it, and then when I became a brand partner, I figured this was just another level of being able to help my clients, because I'm all about healing from the inside out. So this way I could support them. So what's happened is I do a weekly live on Friday nights on my business page and Facebook, and I incorporate something about oils in with it. I encourage them right now where we're going through the chakras. So I usually pick out a couple oils that help support the chakras and ask people, if you have it, bring it. If you don't, bring whatever goes along. And then we work with all that type of thing. So I use that. And then, so I had a client on Monday that just signed up with a Ningxia Red because she was asking for me to help her with certain levels of different things that she's been coming to me for a while. And so I said, this might sound like a sales pitch, but it's really not. I said, because you want me to help you. So I said, I've been using it. I think it's helpful if you really want to give it a try. So she signed up to give it a try. So it's really kind of how people are signing up for it. And the other thing I do is I've bought several of the Wild Notes, the sampler packages, and I've used them for a raffle basket. When I started my live in April, that was one of the prizes. There was little things people had to do each week when they got on. And they actually got somebody who won it ended up buying a bottle of perfume through Wild Notes. So it's just those types of things that, it's not I don't have a real strategy, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, it's just kind of just talking about it. I did a workshop for parents with children with disabilities, and we had grab bags. And so I put little samples of essential oils in there for each of them. and, and told them, what the oils were, that type of thing. So, just to kind of give those away for people. And I mix them with a carrier oil so that nobody can say, oh, that burned my skin or anything like that. Plus it saves on how much oil you're giving to people, right? So just those types of things. Yeah. So
Maureen, that is amazing. Can I ask you, how many followers do you have on your Facebook business page?
I only have like 200 and some followers on my Facebook page. And I don't know how many people, I don't get a lot of people that join the live, but people do see it because I check the numbers afterwards. So eventually people are seeing it in the replays and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to build a community. And when I chose Friday, it was because I thought, well, it's the end of the week. So people can, relax from the week and help them ease into the weekends. Like I send Reiki at the end of the hour. It's just for an hour. So we do, like right now we're doing chakra stuff. I do a little card reading. So I incorporate essential oils in some way with it. And then I just send Reiki and usually have everybody inhale the Reiki, their essential oil before I start sending them the Reiki too. So yeah, so it'll grow over time. And I just figured that's not my comfort zone at all. But I just kept getting guided. I needed to do it. So I thought, okay, just do it because I'm supposed to be doing this. So there I go.
Maureen, I think you are such an inspiration. This is amazing. I mean, 200 followers is great, but I think there are many of us who have Facebook business pages that have maybe sat there, hasn't gotten a lot of attention. And you're just like an inspiration. You're like, I'm going to do this weekly, rain or shine. I'm going to go in there and share. And it's the consistency. And look, you got enrollment from it. So that's fantastic.
Right. Right. And then also, I did one of your DIYs because I couldn't go live. So I did a pre-recorded and I did your room fragrance thing. And then that was one of the things I gave away to people because I already had made a bottle for myself. So then that was one of the things that people got. Someone won that, plus someone won a sample oil. But it helps to keep people engaged. That's kind of thing. And I've kind of, Andrea Frazier's really kind of inspired me, and she's part of our little line here. So I have a lot to be grateful to her for. That's for sure. That's given me kind of a lot of courage to do things.
I mean, you're taking a page out of like what a lot of people do for vendor events. I mean, Sherry could probably talk to this a little bit, but of the, engage, enter to win a giveaway, and then I'll send you a sample or I'll give you a DIY or something like that. But that typically leads to an enrollment or at least getting them to a class, whether it's in person or online. So,
right.
It's such a smart strategy.
Right. And I just figure eventually, even if they don't right off the bat, even with like these parents that I gave all those little samples to, it might be 3 months, 4 months down the road, but eventually they're going to reach out and say, hey, what can I do? Or how do I get this? Because the leader, I think I told you in one of our conversations, the leader of this group, she reached out to me and said, how do I did an aroma Reiki session with her. And then 2 weeks later, she sends me a message and says, how can I get oils from you? Because she took home the sample of lavender and used it on her son who has disabilities. And they could notice the difference in his behavior. And even his teacher noticed it and mentioned it. And he's gotten to the point that, like, if she forgets to put it on him, she'll say, Mom, I think I need some of that lavender oil.
Oh, that's so sweet. But Maureen, you're following so many of the strategies that we recommend. And you know what?
Okay.
Love Andrea because she has been teaching as well, and you're sort of following what she does. But you've got it. It's like you have a niche, right? So you're focusing on Reiki, and that's what you're focusing your business page on. You're being consistent by posting and doing a video at least weekly, and then even doing like these giveaways to encourage engagement and to get people to talk to you. So you're doing like all the best things that I think sometimes us who've been doing this for 5-10 years or more, we sometimes need the reminder. And so I was like, oh, I got to get Maureen in here because she's been enrolling and you just got started. She just enrolled. So I'm so happy for you and so proud of you for doing it. You're doing all the right things. And just keep sharing, keep going out there and keep sharing. It's working. What you're doing is definitely
Well, I want that quilted bag this month, so I need one more.
And you won it, right? You won it.
Well, I won last month. I got the
The
towel.
towel.
So,
You won the towel.
but now it's that quilted bag. But
That's right.
I don't know what the other thing is. Like if you get four people, there's no explanation anywhere of what that is. And for someone like me, I mean, somebody else might know what it is, but I have no clue what the other thing is to earn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know either. It looks like it's like a magnetic thing to carry supplements and things in instead of like the plastic pill boxes.
Oh, is that what that is?
Because
Okay,
I
because
Googled
every
it, they're
time I
like
click on it,
$100.
oh, really? Because every time I click on it, I think it'll give you a description of what it is, but there's like nothing there. And I'm like, oh,
No, I Googled
that
it.
is
I
one
was
of my
like,
frustrations, if it's okay if I mention this, is I don't think Young Living always on their things explains clearly to people. I think there's things that are missing where they could be a little bit more clear. I know like there's been things like my new people and something will come out and I don't really completely understand it. So then I've got everybody else all mixed up too. So I wish that they would have like a clearer setup of how they word things or something so that you can, it's probably somewhere in the fine print, but I don't have time in my day to look at all the fine prints.
so do you mean more like if it's the one time only or loyalty orders? Is that
Right.
where
Like last time there was like some special. And to me, this also makes no sense to me. Like if somebody has a loyalty order, they should still be able to put like the special of the month in there without it having to be a one-time order. Because then if it's not available anymore, it's just gonna cancel itself out because my people anyway, they don't want to pay another shipping and handling. Shipping and handling is huge for people, and with prices of everything going up, no one wants to pay a second shipping and handling.
But I think I think the other side of
$10
that
is a lot.
coin, a lot of people process their loyalty orders on like the first of the month. And then if the sale comes out on the 12th, they're like, well, that's not fair. I could have added it to my loyalty order, but I already so I think that's why all of those specials and new things are shop only. Because unless they always announce it on the first, but that's usually not the way it goes.
Yeah, and I know I had
a
customer who liked what came out, but she said she didn't want to. She already just put her loyalty reward in her loyalty order, and she said I don't want to make another order because then it's another shipping and handling. So this is an issue for people.
Yeah,
I
think that's a fair feedback. So please, you could always send it in to customer service and give that to them.
Okay.
We've also expressed the same thing. And like Sherry said, there's nuance. Someone, processes on the 1st and then the sale comes out on the 12th. And what do you do with them? So there's nuance to it. I think the more that they hear from us in the field, maybe they'll come up with solutions. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it's like they could throw in an extra, free shipping or whatever it is. But, I think the more that they hear from us, then the better. The other thing is not only would someone miss out, but potentially things could run out, right? If maybe something came out on the 1st, but someone's LR is like on the 20th, something could sell out before it would have time, to go there. So some of these like limited quality item or limited supply items, they cannot offer on loyalty just because it's so unpredictable and what's going to sell out, what's going to sell out and what isn't. But all really good feedback that I think the more we can send to them, the better. Yeah.
Okay.
And then in terms of
Thank you.
products, some of the products are purposely not very well defined on what things do. And some of that is really just to be FDA compliant. And so publicly, it might just sort of have like marketing information, but privately, I will send people and go, this is what it's really for. And I'll, tell them what it is. But it's one of those things where it's very nuanced, and it isn't just essential oils. I actually used to work in the supplement industry as well. And it's very similar, Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be very careful how you word things because then it's, can be considered practicing medicine or, practicing without a license and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But all really good feedback, and, Young Living loves it. So please send it over to them. But I just love hearing your story because you're doing, I love sort of spotlighting like the strategies that are working now, like with Sherry and her vendor events. She's been doing this for years. And Sherry, you're just like awesome because you know with your schedule, I got to hit it really hard in the summer. And then me getting all those contacts for the summer can get me enrollments for the entirety of the year. So like you work with your schedule with the vendor events and the craft fairs to make that work. So I just love hearing from you ladies. And that's awesome. And, you know, some other things that I would suggest as far as things that work is, you know, summer is here. And so theming things, right? So like, whether it's in person or online, but just like, you know, energy, bug bites, summer skin support, like that type of thing could be really good. Having casual conversations at like your summer meetups. Maybe it's a summer barbecue, a swim meet, maybe it's a beach day, a summer solstice. You know, whatever it looks like for you in the summer, there's so many opportunities to be networking and talking to people. And, you know, honestly, I'll make sure I have it in my purse, grab my oils, start using it in public. I mean, someone's going to make a comment. They'll be like, that smells good. What is that? What are you doing? You know? So just, you know, like having your oils and your products out, using them and letting people see, you know, that you're using them, especially when it's summer themed. I think that's great. But some low key like summer themed pop-ups could be really fun. If you know, have people like in your sort of network where they've got kiddos, they're out of school, like offer them some opportunities to get kiddos together. You can corral kids. You could be getting moms or parents together. I mean, there's so many opportunities even just with that. I've had people hit me up lately about DIYs. I'm in a newer neighborhood. I moved in about 2 years ago. And so they know I do oils, but I don't like to be super explicit about it because they're my neighbors. But they'll follow what I'm doing on social media and they'll be like, what is this? What is this DIY? Do you want to come over and show the girls like how to do, you know, this DIY, this like perfume? I'm like, yes, we can do it. Because you know what's going to happen. The kiddos start using it, then they're going to ask their moms, and the moms are going to be interested too. So anything that you can do that's kind of summer themed is going to be really great for enrollments this time. Did anybody else want to add anything else to that? Strategies that are working now?
I just wanted to add, it's been interesting at the market. Thieves has always been a big draw. I cannot tell you the last time I sold a PSK. I'm not going to lie. The oils are all there. They're all diffusing, but everyone's either buying the Thieves bundle or Ninja Red. This year, I changed my strategy because of the reset. I have a banner now, and it's just like what one bottle can do. And it just highlights all of the things that are in Ninja Red and how amazing it is. People, I've been at the same market in the same spot next to the same farmers since 2016. Like everything's the same. I've been, yes, since 2016 at this market. People who have never stopped are now stopping to read, want to know about Ninja. I make little trifolds. I give it to them and I'm like, go home and read about it. Do your research. I had 2 people come back. They're like, okay, but how do I know if I'm going to like it? So what I started doing is I have the pouches and I'm like, well, I will sell you one for $3. I said, I don't really sell these, but I want you to try it. I don't want you to make that investment. But I said, but if you do buy it, I will give you your $3 back. I just don't want you to buy it without, because, you know, some people may not love it and everyone's like, oh, it's really good. I like it. And I had 2 people sign up with the reset already this month. And it's people that would never, ever had like looked at Ninja Red before. So I think like putting things out there that, because everyone just sees Young Living, they think oils, and we're so much more than that. And oils are literally, I still have the PSK on display. I talk about it, but it's so interesting to see what is driving people now. It's the cleaning and my health. It's the cleaning and my health. So if I can get them in on one of those ways, then I'm sending weekly information about the oils, or did you know this oil can do this for you? And they're like, oh, wait, what? Tell me about that oil. And that's how I get them to keep ordering. But it's been really interesting to see. The PSK is the just our regular, the box of oils with the 12 oils, the premiums. It used to be called, maybe it's not even called that anymore. It used to be the premium starter kit. Is it still called that now? I don't even know. That's still what I call it. But yeah, just the regular box with the 12 oils. And I have not sold one probably in 3 years. It's been all Thieves and Ninja. So I just think it's an interesting trend. So make sure you're sharing all the things, not just one. Like share those 3 big lines.
Yeah, that's such good feedback, Sherry. And I think it's in particular, maybe for people who had gotten oils in the past and they use them and whatnot, maybe it just sort of fell out of their consciousness. And so now they're like, okay, I can just get this thieves thing and I don't have to make anything, because some people don't want to DIY, right? They can just use it. Sherry can give them some tips on how to like stretch it out and dilute, right, to save some money or get on the 14-day reset. But like, people come in through different entry points. Typically, we're seeing one of the 3, the oils, the thieves cleaning, or the 14-day reset. Certainly there are outliers, but that's typically the top 3 sort of like entry points. And so like Sherry said, it's so smart to kind of like, spotlight different ones and kind of see which one's working. And you know what? Different entry point for a different person, So like if you keep rotating and talking about it, it's such a smart way to do it.
And something else that I do, if someone buys the Ningxia Red bundle, I give them a sample of the Thieves Cleaner. So that's one thing I do sell. I buy amber bottles on Amazon. I make little vinyl labels, and I buy the box of the pouches. I don't have any here next to me. Where are they? Oh, here. If you haven't seen them. So it's the single pouch. There's 10 in a box. It equals 2 capfuls of the cleaner. So I give them this. My cost is maybe $6 or $7 for my bottle and this total to give them. And that's their gift. And now they are introduced to the Thieves Cleaner. And when people buy the Thieves, I give them 2 pouches of Ningxia Red as a gift to try it so that they know what it tastes like. So you need to expose them, because again, it's a big investment for people if they don't know what it's like or what it tastes like, what it smells like. So that has been another big thing that I do with my new members. I gift them the opposite.
Okay. I just taught a master class last weekend of Reiki master class, and I brought in packets for the students of the Ningxia Red, because I said, just, you might need a little bit of extra pick me up or whatever like that. I did check to make sure. I said, if you're on anything for diabetes or blood thinning, you can't have it. But if you don't, you can try it and see if you like it. So
that's so good, Maureen. And yes, Sherry, so smart. We have sometimes called it the wellness triangle, but the way to look at this is we've got these 3 entry points. However they come in, once they're in, we want to reintroduce them to the other 2, right? Maybe they come in through oils, then we start introducing them to the Thieves Cleaning. Maybe they come in through Thieves Cleaning, then we introduce them to oils or to Ningxia Red. But it's usually one of those things, because it's sort of the trifecta, right? Like what we're ultimately helping people to do is to like swap things in their home, right? So whether that's the soda and the energy drinks, so they've got Ningxia Red, and then they can get introduced to Young Living's other supplements. Or maybe it's the cleaners. That's why we talk about, the oils and Thieves Cleaners, so that we can help them with that. And then there's a great entry there even to, Young Living's personal care products, like their shampoo and body lotion, skincare, whatnot. But so smart, Sherry, to like keep introducing them to different things, because people don't know what they don't know, right? Yeah. Yep. So true. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about systems. If you didn't know me, Maureen doesn't know me very well, but you 2 ladies know me very well, that I am like the systems person. I like systems because that's just how my brain works. But I just find that when we can help people with systems and we can kind of adopt them ourselves, it just makes us more efficient, saves time, and it's just easy to remember. And so there are just a few things that I just want to highlight as far as systems, and I'll post this in our Gather and Dwell group as well. But we talked about this tonight, right? Like, so POST, I'm calling it PIPS. I don't know. It's just sort of the acronym I'm coming up with, but POST. Okay. So sharing something daily. And let me just tell you, I don't know if you've all done the Sam Hine training. She's doing training. She did it with Wild Notes, but then now she's doing it for all of Young Living, and she's going to be a guest speaker at convention. Her training really reset more than anybody. I've done so many other trainings before with social media. Her training really reset and helped me get very focused, and is helping me get engagement that I haven't had in years on social media, to the point where I thought my Facebook was dead. It's not dead. I've had people reach out to me asking me for links, asking me to send them information, wanting to know more. So, but a big part of that is just being consistent and posting. So sharing something every day, whether that's a tip, you're sharing in a story, maybe you're doing an engagement type post, maybe you're doing a reel, whatever that kind of looks like for you on whatever social platform that you use, but just being consistent and sharing regularly. And maybe you sprinkle in, you don't have to do it every time because then it's overkill, but like sprinkle in some kind of call to action every now and then, right? Like comment this and I'll give you this, right? Comment quiz and I'll send you this lead magnet on how to beat the burnout. Do you want more information on how to make your own DIY cleaner? Whatever that kind of looks like. So posting regularly is definitely going to get more eyeballs. And again, huge inspiration from Maureen for doing her weekly lives. That's so good. I'm now thinking maybe I need to do a weekly live video. Number 2, inviting, making sure that we're consistently inviting. So this is the I, invite, share an upcoming class, whether you're hosting it or not, we're hosting them too. So there's always a class to funnel people into. Inviting someone to take a look at a product, right? So sometimes it's not a class. It's, I heard, you're overwhelmed, right? Maybe have you ever looked at, Ningxia Red? This thing is amazing. I was just in this burnout class and learned all about it. Number 3, and this is one that I need to work on myself, is inviting people to look at the business, right? So maybe that's you sharing that you're on a Zoom business call tonight. Maybe it's you talking about how you work your business. But this is a huge piece that I think for a lot of us that we often forget to invite people to, including our members, including people we know who could use a Young Living business. But that's going to be huge. Okay. The third is prospects. That's the other P, prospecting. So making connections. So I will tell you, for me personally, this is an area that I struggle. So I say all of this, not because I'm an expert, but because I'm in the same boat as everybody else. And so prospecting and making those connections, Instagram makes it really easy to connect with people that we don't know. With Facebook, it's a little bit harder. So it could be, you're joining groups that have the same niche of people that you're trying to target. It could be, reaching out to old friends and family, being in a neighborhood group, whatever that looks like for you. There's so many different ways to do this. But this doesn't even necessarily mean, hey, do you want to buy this? It's commenting on their story, commenting on a post, just kind of like making those connections, right? They'll follow you back. And then eventually they'll see what you're doing. This is a prime example is, again, I moved into my new neighborhood. I'm Facebook friends with people. I did not spam everybody and say, do you want to buy an oils kit? Right. But, they see what I post. It's mostly about kids, but now and then I'll post a DIY and I have people asking me about it, right? They're asking me, I'm not chasing them down. So, just making those connections are going to be really huge. And then the 4th thing I recommend, this is the S, this is support. So like love on your existing members, invite them to a team class, a business call, help them with their loyalty rewards order if it gets missed. Reach out to people who have gone inactive. Maureen, you don't have that quite yet, but when someone has a Young Living account and they don't order after a year, they become inactive. And so that's, again, we don't want them to get to that point, but when it does, we definitely want to reach out and be more high touch with them at that time and offer help and support to see what we can do to, reintroduce them back into Young Living. So that's PIPS, post, invite, prospect, support. So that's kind of like a system to help you get, even if you're doing 15 minutes a day, any one of these things, you're going to be good. You're going to be working your business really well. Anybody want to add anything else to that? Am I missing another piece of the acronym? Okay, love it. I can't stress enough how much support for your team can go such a long way. Someone who may not ever talk about the business or express interest in it, but you just showing love on them and like sharing a sample, sharing a tip, just reaching out to them to say, I hope you're doing well. I was thinking about you. It can go a really long way. Someone who might be distant might then want to come in and go, you know what? I've heard you. I've seen you talk about this. I'm interested now. Tell me more about loyalty rewards. Tell me more about this affiliate link thing. So, just showing that love to people, just like when you're prospecting, I think can be really huge. Just again, being a good friend, being a good person to reach out and connect, and not it always being about a sale is going to be huge. Okay. Well, that's all that I had. Did anyone else have other questions or want to make any other comments? This has been so fun to get these business calls up and going again. Love it. Love it. Okay. All right. So let's do this. We're going to build through the summer. We're going to put 15 minutes. That's what I would suggest, at least 15 minutes working your business. I get it. Summer slide. The rhythm can be a little hard. But you know what? Just doing 15 minutes a day. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm taking a page out of Maureen. I might do a live video as well. Maureen, you said you're doing it an hour each week? Sorry, you're muted.
Sorry. I go, yeah, from 7 to 8, but I have several things that I'm doing in it. Yeah. So
I love it. I think I'm taking a page from you. That's why I love these calls, because we all learn from each other.
But you can always check it out and see. It's Peace and Wellness from Within on Facebook.
I love it. I love it. I mean, imagine, guys, like we could teach, a Nature Red reset, a thieves cleaning. I mean, you could do so much in a live. Yeah, I love it. Such a great idea. Okay.
And I'm going to take a page. I'm going to take a page out of your book, Tracy, and do a DIY video reel, because they're just not my. I don't like getting on video.
It's tough.
It's hard.
But I'm doing a oils, intro to oils with like summer focus in person on Friday, and I'll be doing the DIY is the after sun spray. So I feel like if I can do it for the class, I can make a video for it, not think about it, just do it, and then I can post it up there.
That's awesome. I don't ever go live in my stories or on my page. I don't. I'm the same way. And I talk for a living. Like I teach. It's not.
I know.
Something. I can't.
It's scary, but yeah.
Maybe this year I'll do it. Maybe this summer.
I'm going to
go. Motivated me, Tracy. Seeing all of your new videos, you've motivated me.
There's something about at first I was just showing my hands because I'm like, I don't want to show my face. And when I show my face, the engagement's like through the roof. So I had to kind of get over it, and I had to get over like being aesthetic and wearing cute things. I was like, I don't even care. And then I had all the tripods and all the things. And literally, this is what I'm doing right now. I put it on my kitchen counter. And so that's the angle. And I'm like, that's it. It all has to fit in this. And I'm just going to make it work. And for whatever reason, it's just sticking. So sometimes it's like the least amount of like time and effort you're putting in is going to have the biggest bang. And you know what? It saves time too. Yeah, I love it.
And your kitchen always looks so spotless.
I didn't know that they had those. So thank you for that information.
Yeah. Yeah. And Allison, it's just the corner that I happen to shoot. So I just shove everything in the corner so you can't tell, but it's totally not that clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that analysis paralysis. I have to just stop thinking.
Yes.
Do it.
Me too.
Let's talk about this next call, ChatGPT. That's how I come up with topics. Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about it next call. All right. Thank you, everyone. It was just so fun. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.